need some competition out here. Come on.
The other they have to do that. Our people don't.
Godspeed ahead to them. But without further ado, man, I'm gonna jump right into the first story and not waste any time. Now, according to Variety, right, the Nick Cannon show will be canceled after the first season. Now, employees were pretty much given their pink slip, and they will let know that that show will not be going on to the second season, and that's just less than 6 months after its debut. Now, he was gaining a lot of traction, or at least it seemed like the show was gaining a lot of traction lately. We know he went through the controversy not too long ago, but his show appeared to be flourishing. But I guess the creators of the show, the funders, decided that, look, nah, we ain't moving forward with it. What's your thoughts, Sam, man, when you hear about Nick Cannon's show being canceled after just the first season?
It'd be all right. It'd be all right.
Ain't rich.
It'd be all right. But nah, like you said, he went through a lot, man. This brother went through, obviously, he went through his career controversy, and then he went through a personal controversy, not a controversy, but a personal tragedy in his loss of his child.
Yeah.
And then it's just a whole bunch of stuff. He's living his real life out here in front of the cameras for everybody to see. It's a gig. You know what I mean? I was reading up on it, and they were saying that when they looked at the projections, and they looked like what it looked like it was going to project to do in 2022 further and beyond, it didn't look like it was going anywhere. You know what I mean? When it was up on that upward hill, it just kind of stalled out and stayed where it was. And when you start stalling out and get neutral, eventually you die. You know what I'm saying? And this died very quickly. So still got wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Still has various other things. Nick Cannon, the personality, I'm sure will find different ways to make bread. But I'm not surprised. Are you? Did you see the show?
I saw like some
Clips and
snippets,
shit,
clips and stuff. I never really watched the whole show, and I don't watch a whole lot of stuff, so it's not like
Right.
disrespect to Nick. I don't watch Wildin' Out for that fact, except when it's up here on TV. But I can't say that I'm surprised. I can say that I'm probably a little disappointed in the fact that even though he has a lot of other stuff that's doing very well, I thought this was kind of like his baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he bring the guests he want to bring on, talk to the people that he wants to talk to, cover the topics that he wants to actually cover, and really not being so much scripted or him given an agenda by directors and producers. And, you know, I guess it kind of comes with the territory. My thing is just looking at like, all right, I guess it had to be successful to a certain extent, but maybe not like successful to be for the investors or the people who set up the show.
Sitting in a daytime TV slot.
Right. It might not have been, getting the type of numbers to sustain that type of success. And it is what it is, man. But, not saying that Nick Cannon doesn't have ownership, but at the end of the day, it's about ownership and independence, in my opinion. Not to say that you can't go get a bag. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with him getting his bag. Viacom owns, on Wildin' Out. That's cool. You getting your money. Somebody wants to pay you the deal. You got a partnership. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think, you want to be trying to pivot yourself with some real serious, ownership. Because when you got the real serious ownership, that equals real serious power.
Nick Cannon's been all over the place, man. You see him in acting, you see him in comedy, you see him in music, you see him in podcasts, you see him in DJing, you see him in pro-black.
A lot of stuff.
Like, he just kind of moves with the current. It moves with the current state, and they slipped him into that daytime TV, and it wasn't for him. And we could talk about ownership, and this is something that we feel as though is important where we're sitting at in our lives, but not a lot of people got feel the same way we do. And people sometimes are comfortable, even in those high statures, sitting amongst that corporate line and just grabbing a check based off their talents and doing how they do. And it boggles our mind, like it for the life of us, because we don't understand that shit. We don't understand why they do it, but some people are just legitimately scared of losing that consistent check and having to go and grind on his own. And I'm not saying that Cannon never did, because the brother's a millionaire. I'm sure he's done plenty and put on plenty. But when you look at the talent that he has, it just makes you wonder why, after all the various things that you have done, have you not put any real stock and ownership into something where they can't just snatch it from you?
Right. And that's the point I was making. I'm like, you say something, maybe not even wrong, but something that a group of people disagrees with, they shouldn't have the power to shut you down like that, dog. Or not even shut you down, but make you pretty much drop to your knees and say, look, I'm sorry. And maybe he was legitimately sorry, but, I'm just looking at it, and I'm sure you are too, as just like, all right, let's own and control something. Like if we got all the top podcasts and hip hop is this, and this, let's get some ownership in these things because we don't want, other people continuing to benefit off of our success. I can go to Philly and I go to Chinatown, and any other major city, and I can see, schools, I can see churches, I can see banks, them benefiting not only off them people, but they other people that are benefiting off of coming into Chinatown. But at the end of the day, they're circling it back into them and building their infrastructure up. Just like if they had a media in Chinatown, like, all right, they covering the boom, 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 the dollar circulating in that.
Right.
That's all I'm talking about at the end of the day. But like you said, some people just don't see it clear like that. They think it's getting the bag is enough and taking care of, their people is enough. And if that's what you think, man, that is what it is.
Yeah, you're a star, man. You're going to get checked somewhere, somehow. So keep doing your thing, Nick. Good luck.
Right. And maybe he does have some stuff that we don't know about.
Sure
That's why it'll be great, to always, we're up and coming media platform. We want to talk to all of these people face to face and really dig deep and get into not only, things that happen that's controversial, but the business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The personal things and things like that. How'd you get to where you are? Like I could say one of the most intriguing interviews that we had was Master P. I know for me, I'll say, just doing the research and looking into him and seeing how he kind of did things. Not everybody did it like Master P. So that's all I got to say with that, man.
Yeah, good luck to Nick, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about Chris. Let's talk about Chris Brown, because this is hot off the press. Salute to Chris Brown, man. And people who don't know, the accuser, she came out and pretty much alleged Chris Brown, violating her sexually, a few years ago at one of Diddy's parties. And for a while, we kind of all thought it was true, or at least in the back of my mind, like, damn, this nigga Chris, always some crazy shit coming up with Chris Brown. Well, he struck back, he fired back, bro. And he pretty much, released a voice message and released text messages from the accuser, and the accuser was on his dick. As a matter of fact, she told Chris Brown that he was the best dick that she ever had. It was voicemails of her like, I'm trying to see you, boom, boom, boom. So it kind of destroyed the whole narrative of Chris Brown forcibly violating her. Chris Brown and his attorney was like, all right, I'm not having this. I'm going to release this evidence. As a result, this girl's attorney drops off and bounces. Like, all right, you're lying. I don't want to deal with you.
Yep,
and Chris Brown and his lawyer now coming after her financially. It sets a precedent. I love it. I love it, Sam, man. I love it because, you like, I forgot who said it, but you can't be playing with people's lives like that. Mere allegations. And it can happen it ain't got to be Chris Brown. It could be you one day. It could be me one day. Yeah. Got a little power, got a little notoriety, a little fame. A chick accused you of something. Now, people start thinking that you did it and you start losing shit. Come to find out, she was actually lying, bro. What do you think about that?
We all know that it goes down, and we all know that people lie. But what's fucked up about this entire thing is because of Chris Brown's history, a lot of people made and steered the narrative to be so easy to say he was guilty. And if he did not have evidence, he'd still be guilty right now because he's still guilty of mistakes he made in the past. When you look at people that were blamed for that, it's never innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until proven innocent. And then once you're innocent, the stain still sits with you. Look at Deshaun Watson right now, what's going on with him. All that high-ass number of people, 22 women accused him of that. Right. Let's say he gets acquitted of all of that. Right. You know he's going to still hear shit in the media. You know he's still going to hear shit in the stands. Yeah. That stigma stays with you forever. And the fact that we are so quick to just take a side and to say these people are guilty, this is this. And this is why here on this platform, although maybe controversial sometimes, we always play it right down the middle, even though that person that may be accused is so hated and so just disgusted on the media or on the public side that it's so easy to run with a narrative. And we've heard a lot of narratives throughout these years on this podcast and say that person's guilty. Nah, motherfucker, let's look at the entire spectrum.
We always done it like that. We never came on. Unless it was something that we knew that happened, we can really go there. But stuff was like, okay, it could be a gray area, a possibility where maybe that didn't happen. We have if people go back and look over the archives since we started, we have never ever done that. Not because we were scared of any repercussions. That's just where we are as people. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, yeah, you know what? That shit probably could have happened, but she could be lying.
Right.
And found out this chick was actually lying. But I think that, what's scary about it, man, is that for the victims. And now Chris Brown himself is a victim because you see him now in a situation where he was victimized. But I want to see him go out and sue. I don't care if this chick had $450 in her bank account. You better go for $450 or $449.
50 Cent her ass.
You need to go get anything you can from her. Don't sit back and say, oh, she don't got no money. Nah, go in her bank account. Make her feel the pain that she was trying to inflict on you. And when, like I said, we all had crazy chicks that you don't bust it, you don't, hit it good and whatever. And she lost her mind. Maybe you ain't want to do with her. Maybe you had a girl, maybe you didn't. Maybe you were just dealing with different people. You ain't want to settle down. But for whatever reason, you made up the decision as a grown person, I ain't want to deal with this chick. And next thing you know, chick is blowing up your phone. I once had this chick told me, I see you at this bitch's house. I'm going to flatten your tires. I'm going to scratch your car. Boy, I wasn't even doing nothing in the crib. I'm chilling. Right. You know what I'm saying? But we all had those situations. And, I think that's what the situation was with Chris Brown. He probably smashed, knocked it. He ain't want to deal with him no more. He probably had 3-4 other chicks that he dealt with. And she got to the point where she got in her feelings and said, oh, I'm going to say he raped me.
1 in 4 chicks are crazy enough to take it there.
Yeah, especially if you Chris Brown, bro.
If you in that lifestyle.
Right.
And you dealing with that, and it's strictly in the vain lane. I'm not talking about these women out here that are really thorough and doing their thing. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about women that are after these NBA superstars and the athletes and the musicians, and they running in that lane.
Yeah.
1 in 4 of them will run and say some wild shit like that and steered the right way and put in the right media platforms to give the right narrative. Guilty.